Okay.
Okay, sir. So today we have with us Shri Vivek Atray, sir, a former IAS officer, a motivational speaker, author, columnist, and a visiting professor. He has 8 TED Talks and 5 Joe Talks videos on YouTube. He is the founder of Suvichar Think Tank, Vibrant Networking Forum, Playwright Foundation, Chandigarh Literary Society, co-governor of Intact Chandigarh. He is also an electronic engineer from NIT Kurukshetra. So, sir, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. It's an honor to have you over here.
I'm happy to be there with students from Assam, and good to see you all, and my best wishes on Teachers' Day. Today is Teachers' Day.
Yeah, sir. Same to
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Okay, so let us start with our question and answer session. Okay, so my co-member, Pranita Nath, can you begin with it?
So, sir, how was your journey after clearing UPSC? Because most of the people already know about your life before UPSC.
Yeah, so I was a Haryana Civil Services officer before coming into IAS. And I was selected for the IAS after my father passed away. He was an IPS officer. So when I joined the HCS, I stayed in HCS for 17 years. And then I was promoted to the IAS. So I did not come through the UPSC exam as such. But there are 1/3 of the IAS officers of India are promoted from the state civil services, IPS officers from the police service of the state. That is the pattern. But now I'm a mentor to many UPSC aspirants, and I keep guiding them, advising them. I'm also mentor to Vivek IAS Career Academy.
Yeah, okay, sir. How was the selection procedure after clearing the interview?
Yeah, so basically the 3 stages are there: the prelims, the mains, and the personality test or interview. And it is important for us to realize that we have to be all-rounders. So in my Josh talks and TEDx talks also, I emphasize that we have to be creative and we have to be all-rounders. So if you have an all-round personality, that means you are good at reading and writing, as well as at speaking, and you are analytical in your thinking, then you will do very well in the UPSC exam. There is some background noise in one of you, so you can mute yourself when you're not speaking.
Yeah, I think Pranita.
You can mute when you're not speaking. Yeah, you can edit this part in the recording also. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Yeah, okay, sir. So what advice would you like to give to a UPSC aspirant who is preparing for their interview session? So because interview is the main hurdle.
Absolutely right. It is the main clinching factor once you have cleared the mains. I have held mock interviews for at least 100 UPSC aspirants, and I have chaired these interviews also. So I would say 2 or 3 things. Number one, you have to be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be Amitabh Bachchan or Virat Kohli or Alia Bhatt or PV Sindhu. Don't change your personality. Stay with your own personality and be confident and calm. Calmness is the key. Behind me is the picture of Paramahansa Yogananda, author of the autobiography of a yogi. And I have a younger picture of his over here in my phone. So he said, be calmly active and actively calm. When you are actively calm, that means your mind is calm and you do better in the interview, you do better in a meeting, you do better in any exam, you do better in any test of life. So keep your mind calm, go confidently, be yourself. Communication skills also matter. When I want to say something, I should say it in a structured way also. Like if I have to give an answer in 3 parts, I should say firstly this, secondly this, thirdly this, finally this. So I have to structure my answer. I have to communicate confidently. I have to be cheerful and calm. And of course, I have to have content, which means I have read up a lot about my subject or my career or GK. But the personality test or interview is not a test of what you know. That has already been tested in prelims and mains. It is a test of what you are, how you are. So how you behave, how you conduct yourself, how confident and calm you are. That is more important in the personality test or interview.
Sir, most of the people quit UPSC exam after constant failure. So, how did you maintain and train yourself during your UPSC preparation?
Yeah, so as I said, I did not come through the UPSC exam, but I did mentor a lot of people, and I do tell them that it is very important for them to sustain their positivity and cheerfulness, because the UPSC exam is a very serious and tough exam competition. If you are not competing with others, then you might do well in the exam. But when you are competing with lakhs of others, then obviously it depends on your merit. So I would say don't give more than 2 to 3 years to the UPSC exam. 3 years is good enough for you to assess that I have done my best. Don't appear 6 times, because in 6 times, then your chances are not very high in the 6th time when you have not cleared it 5 times. And you are to make sure that your mind and your state of mind is positive and calm. So I think 3 years is good enough for you to give to the UPSC exam. Your first chance may be your kind of pilot chance where you find out how the exam is, you do your best. Second and third chances may be your best chances. So maintain your calmness, your positivity, and your strategy of studying. One of the aspirants who succeeded, she's in the IPS today, she said that if you do a 10% kind of précis of everything you read, and then you further crystallize that to 10% of that, and then on the final day, just 10% of that also. So you remember most of the points, and then you elaborate the points during the main exam or whatever it is. So study like that, give time to all your optionals, etc. Maintain your balance. That means physical fitness and creativity. If you like music, you must sing or dance or whatever you like. At the same time, don't become a hermit that you are only studying 24 hours. It won't work. So be an all-rounder, sleep enough, maintain physical fitness, read books, and study hard. All these things will matter.
Yeah, sir. And luck factor also contributes a lot, I think, to UPSC, because some of the candidates, they couldn't pass out for 1 mark.
I totally agree with you, Manashwini. Your name is Manashwini, yes. So I totally agree with you, because you see the key is that we are in an exam with thousands of others who are as good as us or better than us. So even if you are brilliant, the chances are that you might not clear. You might clear or you might not. So what you need to do is to pray that you can, but do your best. And if you do your best, you can't do more than that. Your effort is what you have to give, and the result is not in your hand. But let me tell you, even if you don't clear the exam after 3 years of preparation, your personality, your knowledge, your confidence will grow, because you have studied so much. Your awareness of the country, of the world. And if you go anywhere else, in the state civil service, in the PCS, or anywhere else, you will do very well there. You will do very well in banking, in corporate world, in teaching, and anything, because you have studied for the UPSC exam. You have not lost those 2-3 years. You have gained because your knowledge has gained. So luck is definitely a factor, but we can't do anything about luck. We can only pray and work hard.
Yeah. Okay, so any books you want to recommend to the UPSC aspirants, or any basic strategy that they can use?
Of course, apart from the usual books which people tell you that you study all the NCRTs, you study the GK books, you study the optional books, I would say that read 3-4 books on India. Reimagining India by Nandan Nilekani. Reimagining India by Nandan Nilekani. Very good book. Then you read Yuval Noah Harari's book. Yuval Noah Harari is a wonderful author from Israel. He wrote Homo Deus, and Homo Deus is basically the future of mankind. Sapiens, which is the history of mankind. And he also wrote 21 Ideas for the 21st Century. Read these books and you will find a lot of knowledge. Also read my book, no harm in that, Finding Success Within is my book. It has 52 chapters. It has 52 points that you can take. It's a short book, but you will find it useful. And these are the books that you must read in order to move forward. Apart from your course, also read the Hindu newspaper or the Indian Express, read the Economic Times, and read Economist magazine online, which is very good for you also.
Yeah, so for current affairs, the Hindus and the Economic Times is beneficial.
Sir,
Okay, yeah, Pranina.
three things you have learned after being an IAS officer.
Yeah, I learned a lot of things, and I realized that because I was a city boy and I was not from a village, so I had never been to the village. I had, but not much. So it was eye-opening for me, the kind of problems and issues that the villagers face. Sometimes the water is not going in the right direction. Somebody has stopped some water channel. Somebody has encroached on other people's land. Some natural disaster has come. Some crops have been affected by some disease, or there could be some scuffle or some dispute. So all these things happen in villages. They can also happen, some different kinds of things happen in cities. But when I learned these, I learned how to understand the problems of the villages, and I learned that I must be empathetic and listen to them and try to solve them. When I was SDM, or when I was DC, or when I was doing other things. Also, I would say that you should be very empathetic to the poorest of the poor and common man. So I learned that, and I would listen to the poor people more. And I would, if we are going on village visits and the sarpanch offers you a glass of lassi, you must have it, because otherwise he will think you are pompous, you are arrogant. So the villagers, whenever they offer you something, I learned that one must have it. And thirdly, I think I learned that public service delivery is the key. That means how quickly, how efficiently the government works depends on the public service delivery. If I take 6 months for my driving license, that means the government is not doing its job. If I take 1 month for a routine application to be processed, it's not good enough. So we need to speeden up the public service delivery. I learned that wherever I went, I tried to speed it up and make it more friendly and efficient.
Okay, sir. As you have said that you follow Yogananda Paramhan's teaching and meditation techniques. So, sir, how spirituality plays a role in your life?
Very good question. First, I'll talk from the perspective of an IAS officer or government officer, and then I'll talk about a common person or normal person, not common. They're not common only, anybody outside the service. So the civil service doesn't mean that you cannot meditate or play tennis or go for walks or sing or read books. You can do all that because you have your free time, maybe in the evening, maybe on a Sunday. So an all-round personality is better. So I started writing. I started writing middles when I was in the service. On a Sunday, I would write short pieces of 500 words and I would get them published in the paper. They were very happy to publish them. And then I started writing longer things. I wrote 2 novels also in service. So I think meditation and creativity are 2 things that should be with us even in service. And creativity is very, very important. And meditation is even more important, as you said. So I follow Kriya Yoga. I follow Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings. And I think every person, whether in IAS or corporate world or academic world or student life, you can meditate twice a day. You can take out time, even 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It will help you throughout the day. And also the bigger purpose of life is to be connected with God, self-realization. I think it will help you in that also. So please carry on and be very, very connected to the Lord. Be connected to your scriptures, your religion, whatever you feel is important for you. And also try to be very, very up, down. You should not be too much flying high. So be level-headed and down to earth and meditate and retain your calmness. That is what I've learned, and Kriya Yoga is a great path for that.
Yeah, actually, so meditation is something similar to detachment from ourselves and from the world. So actually, meditation helps not only just to calm yourself, but to get some other perspective, to look at the world and to the other things in the world.
Absolutely right. It is very important. We develop our intuition, and intuition is something which is the sixth sense, but it is a deeper perspective. So you understand the vibrations of the room, or you understand the vibrations of a person even more than what he is or she is saying. So you become deeper in your thought process, you become calmer, more receptive, and you become more energetic also. And meditation doesn't mean that you become lazy. It means you become more energetic. And if you do yoga meditation, then it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So, sir, thank you so much for coming here. So now we have to wrap up the session, but just one last question, sir. Any advice you would like to give to us or the youth in general?
Absolutely, I want to give advice to the youth. I will give three points. Number one, stay confident and courageous. Don't be scared of life. Don't overthink. Don't worry too much. Number two, always be creative and innovative. Keep thinking of new things to do. Always be an all-rounder. Learn new creative things like poetry, music, art, photography, sports. Be creative. Number three, always thank the Lord and your parents and your family for what you have. Don't be ungrateful. Whatever you have, thank them for that. And you must also meditate and see the bigger picture of life at all times. Understanding people, understanding your life and moving forward like that. You may not be the richest person in the world or the most powerful person or the most famous person, but you can definitely be the happiest person in the world. So please go for that.
Absolutely, sir. Okay. So
Thank you, sir, for coming and giving your valuable time.
Thank you very much. Stay connected and send me the link. I'll be happy to see it.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
All the
you.
best. Stay connected. Share with all. You can connect on Instagram and you can share with all, and they can also connect with me. All the best.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling me. You are very bright girls. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.